Greetings, folks. What's going on? Jason Damico here. You are watching, listening to the Jason Damico Show. Thanks for subscribing on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, Simplecast, and more. And as always, we have a very special guest on the show. And her and I go way back on Instagram, probably 4 or 5 years. Just found each other through like a music hashtag, fellow metal fan, and she's doing a lot of cool things on social media. Her TikTok's starting to blow up a little bit, and interested to just see where the discussion goes. Please welcome to the show my good friend, Miss Maggie Micallef.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Of course. So you're in Canada, right?
Yes, Toronto.
Toronto?
Yeah.
What's not to open up with this stupid question, but really, what's the weather like up there? Because I heard that there was snow in the Northeast.
I woke up to snow on the ground today. I almost lost my mind.
There's snow on the ground?
I think it's almost melted now, but yeah, it was snowing this morning. I couldn't believe it.
Canadian weather, even like, because it's like mid-May right now, I've heard it still drops to like 20.
Yeah, it does. I mean, you'll have one day where it's really nice and you'll think it's finally starting to clear up and get warm. And then the next day you wake up to a blizzard.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
By the way, I love the necklace, whatever's going on over there.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Pretty cool.
Thank
So
you.
beginning stages for you as far as, let's talk about music real quick, because that's kind of like how we got acquainted on Instagram.
Yes.
Who are some of the major musical influences for you, or just like bands that you kept listening to over and over again? I feel like we probably have some similar ones.
Metallica is one of the biggest ones for me. I mean, even through my TikTok, because I do like that metal live stream.
Right.
Everybody always asks what's the first band that got me into it. It's definitely Metallica. One of my earliest memories is just hanging out on my couch and my sister deciding to turn up Metallica, blast it through the house while she was doing chores. And I just remember it was from that day forward, I put my country and hip hop or country and pop music down, and I'm like, metal.
Yes. Do you remember what album it was or song?
I think it was either the Black Album or Justice for All.
Oh, great choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, Metallica is I think that is how we stumbled across each other, was through Metallica. So. I'm pretty sure it was back like 2016 or 2017, but the Black Album was always one of my favorites just because of the way it sounded and the production. And at that point, they were able to kind of branch out and experiment with just those kind of like more mainstream songs, but it was still Metallica, which is really cool. Anybody else for you, like around that?
Yes, there's Limp Bizkit, Godsmack, Korn, Slipknot. Those are the main ones.
Did you ever get into Pantera?
I love Pantera.
Yes.
Love Pantera. Love it.
Any favorite songs or records?
I mean, it's the most stereotypical ones, unfortunately.
Yeah, like
but there's
Walk,
yes, 5 Minutes Alone.
But they're so good.
They are. It's just anything around that time, that album, anything. Yeah.
Now, as far as social media is concerned, you started out on Instagram, and now you've got kind of the TikTok thing happening.
Yeah.
How did that come about for you, that transition?
So
Because your TikTok is, you've only been on there for like a month, and it's already really generating.
I did not expect anything out of it, actually. It literally happened because of quarantine and boredom. I used to do YouTube, and then I'm like, deleted all my videos, stopped with YouTube. I'm like, it's just too much. But with TikTok, it's shorter videos. You can get more content out in one day and have it do pretty decent from what I'm still learning about it, but starting to get a handle on it. And yeah, it's just fun.
What have you noticed that has been, I guess, more prominent on there? Because I mean, it's like and not for this to sound the wrong way, but a lot like it's always kind of like that thirst trap thing that always catches. But your videos, like there's a lot of comedy to it, and you've got more substance than just trying to do that. So I was just curious to see like what's really sticking with your followers, and because I saw a couple of like collaborations with a couple other ones that are doing pretty well.
Exactly. So actually metal has taken off on my page very well. The first video I posted with metal was actually, I think, a Korn sound clip. And I was literally just sitting there saying, this is what goes on in my mind half the time. And it was just Jonathan Davis going off.
Right.
You know? And that video, I think it hit over 100 likes right away. And it just kept going. It's still getting likes. And I'm just sitting here with my mind blown because I didn't think there were that many metalheads on TikTok. And through that, I actually got like a solid group of about 10 people that come to my live streams every time I do them with just metal requests. And we're just talking metal the whole time and rock, and it works.
What were some of your, while we're talking about metal, we'll go back to this because I always ask music lovers this question on the show, which is like best and worst live show experiences. And if you don't want to use any names for the worst, that's fine. But, you know, just as like concert experiences, any really memorable ones for either really great or really horrible.
I've only been to one Metallica concert, and that was, I think, 2 years ago. My mind was blown.
I think I saw them on the same tour.
Yes, I think you did. Because I remember you snapping about it, and then I was snapping about it.
Yeah. It was the, it was Hardwired, right?
Yes. Oh my goodness. And it was so much better than I expected. Like, everybody always hypes up Metallica, so I knew it was going to be an amazing show. But saying that they are better live is such an understatement. Like, they just, every detail is not missed in their show.
Right.
So it's them. I'd say Godsmack and Korn are bands that I will definitely want to go back and see again. It's just they know how to interact with the crowd and get everybody going, and it's perfect. It's perfect.
With the Metallica show, was that where they were in the circle? And it was like a really minimal stage. They had kind of like the blocks with the screens on them, but it was really like, I don't remember them having any major, like,
pyrotechnics.
It was just a minimal stage setup.
They had a lot in the Toronto show.
Okay.
Like, there was fire, and I felt it from my seat.
Yes, the pyrotechnics, that was crazy because we the reason why I went to that show when they were in North Carolina was because my good friends, they gave me a ticket last minute. They're like, we have an extra ticket. Do you want to go? And I was like, obviously. So, and I wanted to buy tickets to that show, but I was in New York at the time, like months before, and I was living up there. I was like, I don't think I'm going to be down North Carolina for it. But then I ended up being in North Carolina. Anyway, we go down, and the tickets that they had they weren't like crazy nosebleed seats, but they were pretty far back.
Yeah.
And when the pyro went off, I felt it as well. I couldn't believe it because I was at least 150 feet, 200 feet back, and it was just like almost instantaneously.
Crazy.
It's like they're on stage feeling that heat, and they're right next to them. It's like, that's got to be insane.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. I'm like, do they even have eyebrows left by the end of their show? Because I was.
Well, you know what happened with James, right? Back in the 90s. Okay, so James got hit by one in like 1990. I think it was on the Black Album tour.
Wow.
And it was bad. Like, it was, they had to cancel shows for 6 or 9 months, and he had rehab. Yeah, it was really, really bad.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, so it's happened with them.
I bet, yeah. Crazy stuff.
Anybody else that comes to mind? Like,
for the good side of the tours, like the best ones?
That, or we could go to worse, and you don't have to say the name.
I don't really know about the worst. Well, actually.
Or any, like, and you could substitute, like, just crazy experiences, like anything that's crazy that's happened.
a few, but I mean, I went to one. I was really excited to see Marilyn Manson and Rob Zombie.
Okay.
And Manson ended up not being able to show up. Like, he canceled the last second. They had his stage set up, everything was ready to go, and then they're like, sorry, unforeseen circumstances, Manson's not coming. And I'm like, what?
Wow.
Everybody, like, I'm surprised half the people wanted to start a riot, half the people left, but Rob Zombie saved the show. He put on a really good show that night, and I was surprised because I saw him once before opening for someone else, and I guess maybe he was having a one-off day. It wasn't
right. It just wasn't
as
there.
I expected, but he definitely made up for it that time. So,
did you ever get a chance to see like a Velvet Revolver?
No, I wish.
Yeah,
I wish.
that would have been crazy. I got to. We were talking about Scott Whelan on a previous episode, and I saw STP back in like 2011 when he got back with them. So it was all 4 original members of Stone Temple Pilots, and I just did, at the time I was still in high school, so I really didn't understand just how big of a deal that was. And then looking back, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I actually was there for that. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. Yeah.
I'm trying to think, is there like anybody else? Oh, you ever see like 311?
No, unfortunately.
Oh, so
I have
good.
a lot of catching up to do with concerts.
So good. Yeah, they like whenever. Do you guys ever get like those outdoor festivals in the summer?
Sometimes, yeah, we do.
Yeah. There's this big one down here called Carolina Rebellion, and that's where I like saw 311 and Alter Bridge and Black Label Society was there, but unfortunately, I had a show 3 hours away that night, so I couldn't see Zakk Wylde, and I ended up seeing him with the Black Sabbath tribute band like a year later, but
so cool.
yeah, and I think Five Finger Death Punch was there.
Oh, wow.
But I wasn't there that night. I was only there that one day because I had so.
That's another band on my list, and also yours. We've known each other for how long, and I've still never seen a live performance.
Who, Oz?
You.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
I thought you said Ozzy. Yeah, well, and it's crazy because a good friend of mine years ago was like, hey, do you want to go tour Canada? I've got a couple of connections up there. And at the time I was like, well, I'm trying to get out of school, and it's a little tough right now because I have dates in the Southeast. So it just never happened. But you bet your butt, after all this is over with, we're coming to Toronto.
You better. That's a show I need to see.
I still haven't been to Canada. I really want to go.
How dare you? It's okay. I haven't been there either, though, so I can't really say much.
I think Toronto. I think John Candy came out of Toronto.
I'm not sure.
The famous actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if he came from Toronto.
Didn't Bieber come out of Toronto?
He came out of somewhere around here.
Okay.
He came out of Ontario, not directly Toronto though, but yeah.
Okay.
I think, I'm not sure, but I know he's Canadian.
There's a lot of cool people that come out of Toronto, I feel like.
Informer did. You know Snow, the guy that sang Informer?
Oh yeah.
He's from Toronto.
And I think was Rush from Toronto?
I want to say they were. 3 Days Grace, the original lead singer.
Yeah.
He's from Toronto.
I know Rush is from Canada. I just don't know what part.
Yeah. I'm not too sure, but I know they are Canadian.
I want to talk. I want to not to totally shift gears, but I have this written down. So your Instagram story or highlights, there's a creepers tag. I think that's hilarious. And if you want to have a minute to just rant and vent about the creepers, because I just think this is hilarious.
Yeah, well, there's like a set of people whose names I constantly see, just like every week, watching my stories, coming to my page, watching, never clicks like on a post, probably things that I won't notice.
But you can see the story.
I can see, like, your
Right.
names go under the story. So constantly seeing that name, I'm like, okay, gotta just kind of put it out there, I see you.
They're keeping tabs on you.
Yes. And I don't know why.
Yeah, I have those people too. I don't know what they're up to. And I know them, and I've known them for a long time.
See,
I don't get it.
these people are mostly people that I don't know, never met in my life,
Right.
but they know somebody that I used to know. Let's put it that
Just
way.
like the song.
Exactly. And so it's been constant for years. And some of these people don't even follow this person that I used to know. And there are a couple people that I do know personally that follow me on other platforms, but don't follow me on Instagram and still search up my name just to watch what I'm posting.
Creepers.
Yes.
They're
Hence the
creeping.
tag.
Do you have any other creative endeavors other than kind of the content? Because I think you were into fine art at one point, if I saw that correctly, or are you still kind of dabble in that?
I haven't created anything in so long, but I've painted with acrylics. I've designed like sketches that some of my friends have actually gotten tattooed, which I found pretty cool. Yes.
That's
but
awesome.
it's just mostly for fun,
Yeah.
But yeah.
I have written down ice cream because I've always seen that on your bio, and it's like I don't think we ever talked about,
No.
when we were just like chatting and sending each other music,
Yes.
memes, and things. So
Exactly.
we got to talk ice cream for a second.
Absolutely. So that one actually kind of stemmed from when I used to do YouTube. My YouTube channel, I'd always be talking about aliens, because I think that was a tag on my Instagram at one point too. Aliens, conspiracy theories, and I'd always have ice cream.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, I know. That one didn't last so long though. Like I did it for I think about a year, and then I just got rid of everything.
Right.
It took so much time just to create one video and edit, I just didn't have the time for it. A lot of stuff ended up getting in the way, and by the time I was ready to come back, I felt like it was so long that it was kind of pointless. I know that's horrible to say, but But now I got TikTok.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna come back to that, but yeah, ice cream real quick.
Yes.
Oh, I just want to hear your thoughts. This is all.
I love ice cream. It's like the greatest thing. You want to smile, eat ice cream. It works.
It really does.
It does.
Now, are you a mint chocolate chip gal? Yes. Me too.
Yes.
Except for the female part. Last time I checked. Yeah, mint chocolate chip, and you take the Girl Scout. Do you guys have those Girl Scout cookies up in Toronto? The mint.
Yeah.
You freeze them. You put them in the
yeah.
A little bit of
that
whipped
I haven't done, but that's something I'm gonna have to do now.
You've got to try that. You've got to.
See, that's the thing. I'm either gonna have mint chocolate chip, something with Oreo in it, or chocolate.
Yeah.
Those ones. Like
do you guys have Cold Stone up there?
I'm not too sure. I haven't heard of it. If we do,
down here it's a national chain. I don't know if they're global or not, but really good, kind of overpriced, but it is what it is.
Worth it.
It really is. Like, think about it. Like, you know how many times you bought ice cream like overpriced, and it's just like I have to do it.
Yes. Well, we have something called Dairy Queen. I don't know if you have that here.
Oh yeah.
I'm obsessed with Oreo Blizzards. It's horrible.
Yes, the best. So and then there's also the Dilly Bar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, classic.
Exactly.
Their banana splits are good too.
I'm allergic to bananas.
No.
I know. I used to love them. I wasn't always allergic to bananas, but then for some reason they decided to hate me, and now I can't have anything with bananas.
That's horrible.
It really is.
When did that happen?
It's been like a span over. Sorry. It's been like a span of years, honestly. It started out slowly, like a sensitivity. And then, like, I'd say halfway through last year, I accidentally had a smoothie with bananas in it. and my throat swelled up.
Horrible.
And it was only a couple sips. I was freaking out. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not even going near bananas anymore. I'm not risking it.
Wow. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I've seen that happen before with people. Like the banana allergy just kind of crops up out of nowhere. It's really strange.
Exactly. Yeah.
My friend Cole was really allergic to bananas. I don't know why I'm thinking about that, but no, because I think he's the only one I know that's like allergic to bananas. Like it's somebody immediate in my circle. I've ran into other people over the years. Too? What's that?
Is he allergic to latex too? Because they're connected in a lot of cases.
I don't know. I know carrots are like a big no for him. Bananas, and there's
kiwi.
Maybe.
Avocado.
And I think pineapple. It's you too.
He's allergic to latex then, because those fruits and vegetables all have like natural occurring latex in them, and that's what causes the allergy. Isn't that ridiculous?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
There you go. This just turned into a science show.
Well, speaking of science, not that aliens have to do with science, but now you've opened up a whole can of worms. Now things are getting interesting. So you had what? You had a YouTube channel with a little bit of conspiracy dabbling. We got it. Okay, hit me with some stuff. I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
With my YouTube channel, it was like potentially the most random videos. Like I go from talking about ghost stories of how the boogeyman originated from Malta to like alien like objects just discovered.
Now, have you ever had contact with an extraterrestrial?
No, not that I know of. I mean, if I did, they wiped my brain and they did a good job of it.
Have you seen a ghost?
Not exactly, but yes.
Okay.
I've had actually the school I work in.
Oh.
Okay, we're gonna go there, I guess.
Let's go there.
Weird things happen in the school I work in, and like essentially there'd be knocking. I'd have drawers in my desk open while students come to talk to me. The lights would turn off as I'm about to get up to turn them off. One time I was helping another TA with a student getting his coat on, and we were next to this room called the sensory room. It's just like a room with a bunch of toys in it for sensory play. The room was off. There was no one in there, and we just hear. I look up, and she didn't notice. I was like, did you hear that? She's like, hear what? I was like, oh, nothing. And then like, not even a second later, you hear it again. We both looked at each other and ran with the kid. We ran. It's just a lot of random.
How old is the school?
Not that old. I'm not even sure, but I know it's not like ancient. Nothing you would expect to be haunted.
Right.
And that's the thing. When I first got there, everybody was like, oh, don't stay in here past 6. You'll hear knocking on this door. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm not going to be in there past 6. I'm not testing it.
What are some of your favorite conspiracy theories right now that you've kind of learned about over the years?
Well, actually, I want to talk about something that I saw.
Oh, even better.
A little while ago, my dad was outside. He comes inside. He's like, I saw lights in the sky. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, come on. Why didn't you call me? He's like, okay. A couple of days go by. He pokes his head inside. He's like, hey, come here. I go outside, and there's like a stream of lights. It just look like stars, but they're all moving in a straight line, and they're the exact same width apart. I'm not kidding. I counted at least 20 just streaming across the sky, looking like stars. All right. Next day, article comes out, oh, weird lights, this, that, the other. They're just satellites, whatever. Elon Musk's responsible for it. And then my dad's like, I found another article. They said it's aliens. And I'm like, duh.
So I saw a UFO, 100%. Nobody can ever talk me out of it. I had a witness with me. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us anymore. Yeah, my best friend Alex, and we were. This was probably, when was this? I think I was like 16, So a little bit over.
Yeah.
No, about 10 years ago. Yeah, like 2010. And
Mm-hmm.
we were just screwing around with the telescope 2, 3 in the morning. I mean, like for no reason at all. We were just out on his driveway and just screwing around with this thing, like looking at the moon and stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think he saw it. I don't know who saw it first. I think he saw it first. He's like, "What? No, we saw it without the telescope." And either we got the telescope or it was already there, but somebody saw it without the telescope, and we like panned over, and it was not moving, and it was literally, as many other accounts have said, this circular object, and it had like 5 or 6 different like lights, like this, and like this. It wasn't moving. The lights weren't moving, and the object wasn't moving. It was like
just there.
It was there, and if it was moving, it was floating, moving. It was just kind of like it was this like anti-gravitational. Yeah, it was really strange, and it was just there, and then it started drifting. That's probably the best word. It was like drifting just a little bit. And then all of a sudden, it was just gone.
Yeah. You know how many times my own brother has seen that stuff? My father. I'm sitting here staring at the sky for hours trying to spot these things, and I don't see as much as I want to see.
Yeah.
But I've heard so many stories. So many.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it like gives me chills talking about it. Like, because, and the weird thing is that I saw a lot of weird stuff with him. Yeah. And it was with even his brothers, and his brothers are still alive. Like I could call them up and go like, you remember when this happened or when this happened? Mm-hmm. And we saw a ghost. We saw a kid, like literally a kid ghost, like Civil War era. I don't know if you're familiar with like the Civil War in the United States. So like 1850, 1860s, 1870s, that time frame. And yeah, it was just like really weird. Like we saw this kid, and like it was a kid. Like it was a kid, 7 or 8 years old ish, and just like about 100, 200 feet out from where we were. And we like called out to this kid, which really was like some sort of paranormal being. And we ran up to it, and it was gone. I mean, the thing was like, it was there, and it was just walking around like he was there. And then it was just gone once we got it. It was just really like,
you walked up to it. I think I would have ran in the opposite direction.
Well, and we ended up calling. We told my friend's mom, and she like called the cops, and they came and did a police report, because we literally, I mean, there's like 7 people in a group, and everybody sees it.
Can't make that.
Yeah, it was really weird. It was really, really, and that's how real it was. Was like we literally thought there was some kid running around in the woods, and but there's no explanation for, you just run right up to where that being is, and then it's gone. There's no hole in the ground. There's no tree up. I mean, there are like trees in the woods, but how does the kid just like take off? Yeah. It was crazy. Like just still thinking about it now, like I just can't believe, Yeah. Anything else?
I don't know. I can't top that story, that's for sure.
There's a lot of crazy stuff out there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have another conversation about this stuff.
Do you watch those type of movies, or are you kind of like more comedy?
Oh, horror movies are my favorite.
Oh, okay. Did you ever see Slither?
I don't know if I have.
Oh, it's so bad. Like it's probably one of the worst, and that's why it's so good.
I'm gonna have to watch it.
Oh, it's horrible. Sure. It's so bad. And there's probably some like horror film critic out there who's like, "What are you talking about? It's fantastic." I think it's just like terrible, but it's hilarious.
Well, you know what I'm gonna be doing after.
Yeah, it's that was another one, like late night somewhere when I was in New York at a friend's house at least 7-8 years ago, and it was just on like I don't know what it was on. I don't think it was HBO. It was like regular cable, and it was just on. And
Wow.
it was crazy. And there was this like weird. There's like what channel is that? Do you know what channel that is? Well, I don't know what the channels are in Canada, but there's like this weird channel where it's kind of like reality TV, but then they also have like horror films.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Anyway, one of those
I'm
weird
bad
channels.
with channel names, to be honest.
Yeah, and there are like other. There's like this other film. They're like terrible, but they play like terrible movies. There's this other one where there was like this inbred weird island thing, and they were like, it was really, really strange. And
that sounds like Wrong Turn.
That's it.
They have like 50 movies.
That's it. I think that's it. Yeah, and they like show up. There's like these college kids. It's like, oh, spring break. Like, oh yeah, oh. And they go up into this cabin.
Like, weirdos hiding in bushes, and they're
and there's these weird savage-looking guys that show up, and then you realize like the whole plot is there's like this really, really twisted like family lineage of inbred, just craziness, and
they're cannibals.
I was like, dude. So yeah, that I remember I saw that years ago, and I was like, that kind of screwed me a little bit after I saw that. I was like, I can't, like, I actually could see this happening somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, you can't make this stuff up. This had to have happened at one point in time.
Anytime I'm driving somewhere and like roads get creepy, or I legitimately take a wrong turn, that pops into my mind.
You think a wrong turn, yeah.
Like, lock the doors, roll up the windows, keep going.
Oh. Yeah, there was another one had to do, it had to do with, and I feel like a lot of them have similar plots.
Mm-hmm.
When I say it has to do with a chainsaw, like that's going to trigger 100 different movies that come to mind.
Chainsaw Massacre.
Right. I don't know if it was that. It was this weird, it took place on a farm. And there was this like farmhouse, and it
dude with a face. Would he wear other people's faces?
I think so.
I can't remember what that one's called, but I think I know what movie you're talking about.
But there's like a group of, and again, it's hard to pinpoint it down because the plot lines are so similar in all of them.
Teenagers and stuff, right?
There's like this group of 7 or 8 people, and I don't know, like half of them are females, half of them are males, and I think only like one of the females and one of the males get out. But it was just like they had like there was a scarecrow and a field.
Yes.
And there was a chainsaw. I can't remember what it was, but it was just like, oh, and there was this house, and it was just kind of like these booby traps and this crazy nut job, like just playing games and all. Yeah, it was just crazy.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Don't remember the name.
I don't know either. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I haven't really seen many horror. Like the only time I've seen those is just when they're on TV, or I'll get sucked into like once in a while, once in a blue moon, I'll get sucked into one on Netflix. Because usually, like I like comedies, I like drama, I like stuff like that. I'm not really
comedies and horror are my favorite.
Yeah. Any funny favorite comedies of yours?
I don't even know where to start. There's so many. Yeah. Anything with Adam Sandler. Anything with Adam Sandler. But yeah. I don't even know.
So future plans for you as far as what's going on these days with pandemic and whatnot. What's when do you think school is going to open back up for you guys?
I honestly don't think it's going to be opening up again this academic year. I don't think it's gonna. Everything has moved to online, and so far it's going well. From the teaching assistant position, there isn't too much I can be doing other than like popping in and saying, hey, you guys are doing great. I'm here for me. And just providing like small tasks, collaborating with the classroom teacher to get it out to our other students. But other than that, I'm just sitting around responding to emails all day.
Right.
You know? But yeah, I mean, it has messed around with a lot. Because usually there would have been an application process, because I'm in a long-term position. So essentially this year I'm filling in for somebody that's away.
Okay.
I don't have a permanent position with this school. By now, usually permanent positions would have been put up for you to be able to apply to for the next year.
Right.
None of that's happening. Everything is just on hold. So I have no idea if I'm even going to have a permanent position for next year. You know? So it's just like a waiting game at this point, because every time I'll say, okay, so far this is the date we're going back, but it always gets pushed. So.
Have you guys started going into different phases? Now, when people see this, it'll obviously be like a week or two after we've shot this, but currently it's May 11th. Have you guys like gone into different phases yet?
Not as of yet. They're discussing it, and
Okay.
they're talking about having like different things open up throughout June.
Okay.
But right now, everything is just like grocery stores, lineups, only a certain amount of people can go in. My family specifically, we've been doing like the curbside pickup. So you'll pre-order what you want, you go and you just pick it up at the time.
Right.
Which is potentially the best way to do it right now, because the lines are around the corners for the stores, you know?
We were doing the same thing. It now things are kind of opening up. I mean, we're down south in the state, so we're in North Carolina. New York, forget about it. It's just like crazy right now. But yeah, I don't even know, even then, like when, because they're supposed to do, we're already in phase 1. They're supposed to do phase 2 in like a week. And then phase 3 later on, like in June. And, but they're saying the same thing, like schools closed until 2021. Like they're doing everything online.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing, because like, that's the number one place to get sick too, you know?
Yeah.
Like, especially elementary schools where you got kids not really washing their hands like they should be, boogers and such everywhere. So I'm okay with schools not opening up right away. I think it should be a gradual process, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, it's not like there's a cure or anything you really can do for COVID. It's something I think we're all just going to have to adapt to.
Right.
Like the common cold was, you know?
Right. Yeah, and it's really crazy how it's turned into this whole thing. You know what I mean? Like there's so many other, and I'm not discounting this situation at all, but I mean, statistics are statistics. It's just there's so many other things that have happened that have been equally as terminable, you know? And it's just it's a strange time, really strange time in the world.
Absolutely. It's almost apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've got a fun little thing I like doing at the end where I'll just say it's called a shootout, and I'll say a word, and you say a word back, and it's always related to the guest. So, no right or wrong answers, and it's nothing like crazy.
Okay.
Or is it?
We'll find out.
Canada.
Toronto.
Oh, Toronto is next.
Me. No.
Yeah, that works. Social media.
TikTok.
Rock.
Horns.
You sure you want to use that for that? Because metal is up next.
Okay, Rolling Stones.
All right. Metal. Yeah.
Horns.
Song.
Song? Moon Baby. Godsmack.
Cool. Instagram.
Madam Mags _
TikTok.
Fun.
Education.
Essential.
Most important one. Besides ice cream, which is pizza.
Besides ice cream, which is pizza. All of it. Gimme.
Pizza, yeah.
That's actually a thing on my TikTok, though. I'll end my live streams with, okay, I'm going to go have a pizza pocket. Bye.
Yeah. So I always ask everybody this question at the end, which is, if you could go back in time to your 15-year-old self, knowing what you know now, what would you tell her?
You're going to be okay. You're gonna be okay.
And you're gonna see some aliens.
Yes, and ghosts and make TikToks with all of the cool people and stuff.
Well, cool stuff. Once again, what is your social handle?
Madam Mags _.
All right. We will have that in the description box below
Thank
and
you.
to the sides. And this is a lot of fun. This is it's cool catching
fun.
up.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Of course. You guys have been watching and listening to the Jason Damico show. And check out Maggie's material and content on TikTok. Like we said, we've got everything on the bottom or to the sides. And stay safe out there, kids, from a lot of things going on right now, especially the aliens, because they're watching us.
Yeah.
See you later. Peace.